Sinking fund stuffing time. Hi everyone, welcome to Budget of Oz. My name's Sarah, a disabled low-income budgeter, and today we're going to be cash stuffing my sinking funds for the second fortnight. Hi everyone, welcome to Budget of Oz. My name's Sarah, a disabled low-income budgeter, and today we're going to be cash stuffing my sinking funds for the first fortnight in January. Actually, I'm only cash stuffing one sinking funds binder, which is my disability life binder. It's actually budgeted as part of my essentials, in my everyday essentials, but I do consider it a sinking fund and not a cash envelope, even though some things are genuinely used more like a cash envelope. And that's because for me, a lot of the categories I use to save up for bigger expenses, but other ones like medications, I'm adding money into, but also frequently taking money out of, more like a cash envelope. However, unlike my cash wallet where I do a review every pay period and roll money over, money that goes in to my disability life sinking funds binder goes in and only comes out for what it's allocated for. It won't ever be rolled over like my cash wallet will be. So that's kind of why it's in its own separate category. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll go through all the categories. I might explain it a little bit. We've got some new people here, so hopefully I can explain it. So let's, count our cash. So our cash for this fortnight going into our disability life binder is $20, $40, $45, $50, $55. So we have $55 going into our disability life binder, which is this one here. This is separate, as I said, from my cash wallet, but it's also separate from all my other sinking funds. This one is purely dedicated to those things I have to budget for being disabled. Disability sucks sometimes, but being on an extremely low income, I make an effort to try and not put myself in even more financial hardship because of my disability. That does not always happen. Last year, I had to go to hospital twice, and that cost money, and I had to pull from my savings challenges. I had to pull from my emergency fund, and I emptied out a lot of this, but I put money in here to help cover some of those costs. I'm pretty sure in the next couple of weeks that hospital excess that I've saved up for the whole year is going to be taken, but we're already saving for the next year, so for 2025. So it's one of those things that this is almost as important to me as my food. Like, we need food to eat, but this food, fuel, and my dogs and my bills are kind of the most essentials for me. So that's why when you see my budget planner, they're labeled as essentials. These are my essentials. So we're going to cash stuff them. So first up, medication. There is some coins in my medication. I usually leave the coins in here. I did go to the pharmacy today without this envelope, which is very bad of me. So I will probably be doing some unstuffing and taking back to the bank. But because medications, if it's a PBS medication, can be like $7.70 now. I do keep the coins. Usually it would go into my coin jar, but medications is one of those things where you do need the loose change. So going into medications this fortnight is $25. So we're going to put $25 in. And I'm only going to count the notes. But, I think I've got like $6 or $7 and change. So In total, in medications, we have 100, 20, 30, 35, 40. So $140. I'm still waiting from the bill from the hospital for my medications while I was in hospital just before Christmas. I expect it to come through probably in the next week, and that's probably going to be about $50 or $60 straight up. So that $100 will disappear relatively soon. Carers isn't getting stuff this week, but this is for expenses for my carers when they're with me, things that if they're taking me somewhere that's going to cost money, for example, if they're taking me to an event that costs money, I will buy their ticket for that event. Some people have companion cards. I don't qualify for a companion card, but I qualify for carers from the NDIS. The systems sometimes don't make any sense. So I budget in order so my carers aren't out of pocket for those things. And because it's really hard to get funding for carers to be reimbursed for those things. So I just budget for them, and then I try and get the funding reimbursed to me. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, I just budget for it. So $100, $200 in the bank, 20, 30. Realistically, this pretty much can sit at $250. So we're almost at where I'm comfortable at. Doctors, this is paying for excess for doctors that aren't public. So for my GP, specialists, things like that. So I have $200 in the bank for that. That's not getting anything today. I'm actually had a specialist appointment earlier today, and I'm waiting for the invoice to come through. I think it's going to be about $70 for the gap. So that invoice will come through, and I'll pay it online, and then we'll swap, but we'll see. Mental health that's getting $5 today, actually. So we're going to do $5 cash. So it now has 50, 70, 75, 80 in placeholders and 5 in cash, so 85 total. And so mental health is both mental health treatment as well as any items or therapeutic things that would be useful for my mental health. So I do have medical equipment, but things like fidgets or a weighted blanket, I'm more likely to pull out of here, because medical equipment, I'll explain that later, is usually for other things that are much more specific. Physical therapy, same kind of thing. It's getting a 5 this week. So 50, 70, 85. And that's the same thing, both for physical therapy, but also for, realistically, for the different wraps I require, or the different consumables that are not covered under the NDIS for my therapies. So, being, hypermobile, I usually have things wrapped or braces on. You've seen some of my braces before, and you've seen my little wrap kit. Sometimes, you've got to buy those things. So physical therapy can be a treatment, or like a massage therapy or something, or acupuncture, or it can be some of those things. Now, I do have medical equipment here. Medical equipment is for things that are a little bit more costly. So last year I had to purchase a wheelchair. This is the first time I've had to purchase a wheelchair. I have crutches and canes, but it's the first time I've had to purchase a wheelchair as a mobility aid. Anyone who's had to purchase a wheelchair will tell you that they are not cheap to purchase. Particularly if you're getting one deliberately for the long term. I don't have to use a wheelchair all the time. I've recovered enough to get out of my wheelchair, which I'm so happy about. However, the reality is I'm probably going to need it again in the future. So I bought a quality one, and it's sitting in my mobility storage section of my my garage, where it holds crutches and different canes and a walker. Now also holds a wheelchair. So that kind of medical equipment like a bed that raises your legs up and down, looking at getting a medical recliner, those things cost a lot of money. So this is saving up specifically for those big cost items. So at the moment, medical equipment has 150, 70, 80 in it. 180. Hospital excess. So hospital excess is fully funded for 2024, which is $500 is my hospital excess for a calendar year. However, 2025 is coming along. Pretty sure this is going to get used up pretty soon, either with outpatient treatments or having to go back in to get some more tests done, and the tests require me to be an inpatient for a few days. So pretty sure this is going to get taken up. So we're going to start saving for 2025. Have to get to the 500 mark again. So this fortnight we're adding $20 in order to start funding that hospital excess for 2025. That's going to be one of the bigger priorities. Funding that is one of our first priorities this year, as well as our emergency fund. Keeping on top of our expenses, but this is one of the big ones. And then medical buffer. This is a oh crap medical buffer. This is the first thing I pulled from when I went to hospital for things I had to pay for. Came out of here. Was able to top it back up again, thanks to a family member paying me back, which was great. But this is why this is here. So it's 100, 200, 250 in my medical buffer. So I hope that discussion of Disability Life Binder was helpful, and I hope you liked the cash stuffing. A little bit different to normal, but I thought I'd explain my categories to all the new people that are here. And thank you everyone who's new and who's joined in on my financial freedom journey. I'm so grateful for you. Please leave a like. Leave me a comment if you want to ask me a question. If you like the shorter form content, I'm Budget of Oz everywhere on social media. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.